Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. My name is Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. I'm joined today with Assemblymember Jeff Zinowitz, Assemblymember Nelson Castro, State Senator Gustavo Rivera, Assemblywoman Vanessa Gibson, and Assemblyman Marcos Crespo. Before I begin my statements, I know that we're here because of a dire situation here in the Bronx. But nonetheless, we know that there are more serious situations, both international and what's happened in Japan, and locally with what's happened to Worldwide Bus yesterday morning. And before I start my statement as to why we're here today, on behalf of the 1.4 million Bronxites, and I think on behalf of the elected officials here, it's fitting to say that our thoughts, our prayers, and our condolences are with the families of the victims in the earthquake in Japan, as well as the victims in yesterday's bus crash, and we're also praying for folks in Hawaii and those who are suffering from the aftermath of that earthquake. Now, we're here because tomorrow night at midnight, it's Tuesday. The 14th, right? Tomorrow night at midnight is the expiration of the contract for some of our 32BJ service providers here in the Bronx. We know that the current contract between 32BJ and the Bronx Real Estate Advisory Board, known as BRAB, will expire, leading to a potential strike of roughly 3,000 building service employees here in the Bronx. These positions covered by union employees include superintendents, assistant superintendents, janitors, handy persons, porters, doormen and women, elevator operators, garbage handlers, and other individuals who provide the necessary maintenance services to residential buildings here in the Bronx. A strike would roughly affect 1,000 residential buildings in the Bronx, totaling roughly over 240,000 residents that will be affected. We've also been joined by Assemblywoman Naomi Rivera. And the reason why we're concerned, the reason why we're here, is because we represent a great part of not only the union workers, the people who provide these services, but we represent the over 240,000 Bronx residents that would be affected if there was a lack of these services. We also understand and know that the people from the Realty Advisory Board, they're not bad people either. These are folks who have invested in the Bronx, they're landlords, they're our constituents as well. And so what we're saying is that we're concerned. What we're saying is that we know that there's been much discussion and much negotiation. What we're saying is that we hope and we call for a quick or a resolution before this expiration date. What we don't want is for the good, hardworking people of 32BJ to go on strike. This is something that they don't want either. We want to make sure that they continue to provide for their family members. We want to make sure that they continue to do so in a way where they have benefits and they have security for their future. And we also are mindful that if this strike should take place, many of our buildings in the city of in the Bronx are going to have perhaps health hazard situations where garbage will pile up, where other maintenance issues will not be addressed, including in the building where I live, including in the area that I live. It would affect 1,800 residents out of the 240,000 Bronxites. These are hardworking individuals, both the people who provide the services as well as the residents that live in these residential buildings. And so we're calling for cooler heads to prevail.